If you're asked to choose your home again today, not when you bought it back then, not based on that life situation, but today, would you choose it?
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
Welcome to Life's Inside Track, episode 759. I'm Yetta Dekker.
And I'm Ken Dekker.
Thank you for connecting with us each week as we have honest conversations to help everyday Canadians make wise real estate decisions that strengthen the life they're building with even more clarity, confidence, and conviction. This whole thing about would I choose my house, the one we're living in right now?
We had that conversation before the show.
We did. And we actually had a different answer. So that was intriguing. We didn't think that was going to be part of this conversation. And yet there is that reality that you may not both have the same answer, which kind of surprised me.
Right. So the question that our listener would say, right, is, would I choose this home again today? And you know, I first learned that, my brother taught me that about investing in stocks. And he said, if a stock's going down, you're losing money. Do you hang on to it? And his question was, would you buy it again today at that price, at the price that it's at today? And if the answer is no, then you should sell it. And I think it's similar with a home. If you would say, no, I wouldn't buy this house today, then, consider what you would buy. And you may end up saying, hey, we're staying.
Right.
Because the inconvenience is not worth the outcome, right?
Right.
Or you may say, yeah, there's such a different outcome that I would prefer as I build my life. And your home is part of that, right? Like it affects everything in your life.
Yeah, I think one of the things we've realized more and more, and you're going to hear us say it a lot, is that every real estate decision is ultimately a life decision.
Yeah, why do you say that, Yetta? What other parts of your life does your real estate affect?
How about, finances? That's an obvious one, right? Like that's the first one I think that comes to mind. How much cash do I have to do other things with? How house poor do I feel? I mean, there's that whole dialogue. Because sometimes when we're thinking of this home isn't the one I would choose again, it doesn't mean we're saying we want to choose a larger home.
Yeah.
Maybe it means we would choose a smaller home or a less expensive home or a home in the country or a home in the city. Like it's not that there's any, here's the thing I want people to really catch. What we're not saying is that there's anything wrong with your home. Your home is served you beautifully. It's done what it needed to do. The question is, will it continue to do so? Or have you kind of hit a point of diminishing return for the value it has in strengthening your life?
Yeah, I'd like to back up onto the financial thing as well, because sometimes it's not just can I do other things, is it building wealth in my life for the future? Like, does it meet my future financial goals that it's accumulating wealth inside the equity of my home? Or can I use that equity to multiply by buying another investment property? But I think it also affects like your relationship with your family, your relations. It could be too far away from family. It could be too close to family.
And we're going to talk a lot about this over the next month and two. Is sort of what does it mean when you hear us say that every real estate decision is ultimately a life decision? That's not the focus of this show.
No,
the focus today is really, is the home that you're living in working for you, or have you just got comfortable and complacent and you aren't seeing the stress that it's putting on your life, the impact it's having, as Ken said, potentially in your relationships, because there isn't anywhere for you to go do the things that are important to you. Maybe there's no space for your hobbies or your work because now you're working part-time or full-time from home. Maybe you've landed what I hear from some of my clients, the dream job, which means you don't have to go see people. Now, other clients say that's not their dream job. That's the worst job in the world they could anticipate. So really what we're saying about our current house, even the one we're living in, is it worked beautifully. And I think it still does. Ken doesn't think so. So therefore, I don't think you make a move until both people get on the same page.
Absolutely. CMHC did a survey January of 2026, and it was interesting.
Which was just this year.
Yeah, because over 53% of buyers who were second-time buyers or third or whatever, they already had a mortgage, they're refinancing, okay, to buy a different home. And 19 said it was because there was a change in their living situation, maybe a divorce, a death, or whatever. 16% were downsizing, and 18% needed a larger home. So 53% of the mortgages were because people's life situation, the house didn't really fit it anymore. So then I imagine, well, what's the other 47%, right? And it's just people dreaming of a better place, people dreaming of living closer to work or closer to family, or maybe it's a relocation from a job, that kind of stuff, right? But 53%, that's a lot percentage.
Well, because life doesn't stay static. Like when we moved in here, which has been 12 and a half years, our life, yes, we were already empty nesters. That part hasn't changed. We were already grandparents, and actually we had all our grandkids except one. That we have now. We had 6 of the 7. So that hasn't really changed. What has changed, though, is how we like to spend our leisure time or our margin time. What's changed is how we choose to do our work, from where we choose to do our work. Ken loves to go to the office every day, which is wonderful. I actually love to work from one of our 2 home offices. We have one home office that we call the fast office, which is usually Ken's because it's get in, get it done, get out. And mine's the creative office because the idea is to go in there, go into that creative zone and create, whether it's Life's Inside Track or whether it's a new presentation that we're giving or whether it's an invitation to something that we're creating. So they have different purposes.
Yeah, for sure. And recently we helped I'll call them a young family, Will and Shannon. And they were 19 years, almost 19 years in their townhouse. And it was serving them. It's a good property and it's great property. Right? And yet there were a few things that were tight. Like they mentioned, for a Bible study to have a group over, there wasn't a really great, big enough area to have a larger group. And they were just feeling tight, and Shannon didn't have a place for crafting. And so all of that. And so
a permanent place. She had a place. And yet, because life changed and more free time, I'm going to say, because kids are growing up, there's less demands in the day to day. So it gives more margin to do some of those things that you always like doing. But maybe it was fine to pull out the sewing machine or pull out the scrapbooks or pull out the silhouette or the Cricut or any of those kinds of things, right? That might allow you to do crafting. And now all of a sudden, now having a permanent space because of the number of hours you get to spend in it matters more.
So we were able to help them. As a matter of fact, very recently, and they got a beautiful property.
Yeah, that now serves the life they're living now. And yet, what I love about what Will was saying is that the home they're leaving was in a perfect school district when they were raising their kids, was close to shopping, still is, close to parks so that their little kids could just go down the street, not far from anything. It was a safe neighborhood, a great community, and the home did everything it needed to do. And one of their hopes and prayers was that the family that chose to purchase it, and we had a couple of offers at the same time, which always feels really good. You have a little more selection. And we had buyers that actually, not our buyers, another agent brought the buyers, but an agent that we loved to work with. And they presented a letter sharing sort of what their intention was with the home and what their family was like, and included a picture and that kind of thing. And it made them go, hey, this is almost who we were when we bought the home. So we can really see it serving them for a long time.
Absolutely.
And so it was still a great home and just a different season in life or different time of life.
Mm-hmm.
Different wants, different desires, different needs, different obligations, and different options available 19 years later.
Yeah, and I think it took them a long time to decide to do it.
Yes.
And what's interesting, and maybe they would say it was a bit of a whirlwind, because once they decided, things happened very quickly.
Oh,
like within a couple
within 2 weeks, we found the house, got the conditions removed, got their home on the market, got their home sold.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was a total of 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the lead up was much longer.
And now,
but once the decision was done,
2 weeks from today, they're closing on their new property.
Right. So it's
that's
quick.
so exciting.
It is. And so what I think we're saying is if you're sitting and you're going, well, I'm kind of like Will and Shannon. I don't know if the best thing to do is stay. I don't know if the best thing to do is go. And yet at night, sometimes the thoughts are whirling in my head. Do I have other options? Is still this the home for me? Ought I to be making a different place my home?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're thinking that and you would think it beneficial to have an outside perspective that's hopefully pretty unbiased, because we're not attached to whether you move or not. It's really, we're looking at it, does it strengthen the life you're building now? So if you're thinking, I'd love an outside perspective, that's exactly why we have created or offer the 15-minute complimentary. Yeah, complimentary. That's a much harder word to say than free. But free sounds gimmicky and I don't like it.
Right.
So it's a complimentary clarity conversation where you're just going to potentially get clearer on one or two next steps. We're not trying to solve the whole thing. The future isn't meant to be solved in a 15-minute conversation, and to have clarity about one next wise step that would benefit your life may feel really good to you. And if it does, just go to the dekkerteam.com website, book a call or a conversation, and then let's see if we can get you to one next step.
Mm-hmm.
That feels good, even if it means staying. It's so important.
Yeah, because
it's not about going, it may be about staying.
It might be renovating. It might be how do we help family. There's lots of different things that we can discuss during the conversation. And it's not simply should we move, right? It's if we are choosing again with what we know about our life right now,
right?
Would we choose where we're living today? And if the answer is no,
right,
then maybe a conversation. If the answer is yes, we would, then it still might be a conversation because you might say, should we renovate? Should we, would it add value if we did X, Y, or Z? That's the kind of conversation we can have in 15 minutes.
Right. And one of our clients decided to do a renovation and put a sunroom on because the part she was missing was a little extra sunshine. So rather than moving and starting that process over again, it was a lot less arduous and less expensive, actually, to put the sunroom on that gives her whole home the life that she wanted. It was a simple addition.
Mm-hmm.
Well, simple.
A simple addition.
A simple addition. Well, till it still takes permits and all that stuff. It was worth the effort, though, rather than going.
Yeah, because your home is really an active part of your life that you're building. The life you're living and the life you're building. Because as you live your life, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I have future intentions, future wishes, future goals, and I attempt to live in the moment, but also live for the future. Make my decisions in the moment about what the future will hold because of those decisions.
Absolutely.
Life feels lighter when we navigate it with others. So thanks for joining us on Life's Inside Track. And remember, when we move forward together we've got this.
Moving forward with the Dekker team.